First off, really proud of our players. To be able to go through this year, we've had 12 opportunities, and to be able to find a way to win each of those games, to finish regular season undefeated. I think it's the fourth time in Florida State history to be 12-0. It's big, and the win last night, winning the state championship back-to-back years is something that we know is important to our program and to all Seminoles. And our guys, they fought hard last night in a very challenging atmosphere, and had to respond and once again show the team that we are. And I think that's something that's consistently showed up, that all three phases have had opportunities to be able to impact and help win games. And our guys have tremendous heart, determination. They're very talented players, but how they do things are what I'm most proud of. And this week, we play another talented team. One that presents so many different challenges, but it's still about us. It's still about our growth, our improvement. We just had a team meeting, and our guys are excited to get better, and to be sitting here at 12-0 and to be able to see the areas of growth that we need to continue to improve upon. There is a sense of urgency, and it's great to be in the ACC Championship Game. First time with no division, so it truly came down to the top two teams, and we've got two great teams that are going to square it off come Saturday night.
All right, just a reminder, media members, please raise your hand, hit the emoji, and we will let you guys in as I will try to get as many questions for Coach Norvell as possible. First off, Chris from Herb FM Radio, go ahead.
Hey, Coach Mike, it's Chris Idell from Herb FM Radio in Baltimore. Congratulations on the win last night. How tough is number 18? Because I know he took a nice lick in the fourth quarter by the head-to-head targeting call. It seems like he's one of those tough guys, and you're glad you have him as a quarterback.
No, absolutely. We have a tough football team, and Tate, he was, it's a challenging place to go and get your first start of the year. And I know that things didn't start off, great for us. I mean, it's had some adversity that presented itself, but I think he displayed his mental and physical toughness yesterday. I mean, that the 2-minute drive to go get the touchdown right before half, to be able to come out in the second half and open up the first series with a score, and then just the different plays that had to show up there to put us in a position to have a chance to win. He just continued to answer the call, and that the late hit, it's tough to see any player you get hit like that. And when I went out and got a chance to see him, he was telling me that he was okay. It obviously rattled him a little bit, but he said he was okay, and we just wanted to make sure that we checked him out. Came over to the sideline, and whenever we had the next break, when they called their timeout, he came up and said he was good to go. So you came in, and even in that play, we basically double called a sequence, and he got us in the right play that resulted in a touchdown.
And if I could ask this follow-up, but it was Louisville's running game. How tough is that to defend? Because they're very good. They're explosive running back that could like break one off and real quick.
No, I mean they've got a couple of great backs, and guys that if you allow them to get into open space, I mean it's going to be a challenging day for you. And I think they've shown to be able to run the ball just about against everybody that they played. They're very efficient and effective in the passing game, being able to push the ball down the field. It's a really good offense, and it's led by a very well by a great scheme and an outstanding coaching staff. I mean, this is they're going to present plenty of issues because they're so balanced in what they can do and the variety of things that they'll show you.
Thanks, Coach. See you in Charlotte.
Thank you.
Ira, you're next. Ira, are you there?
Sorry about that. Mike, you guys, this coaching staff, a lot of you guys have coached in postseason games before, playoff games, championship games. But a lot of these players haven't. Is there anything that, they need to learn this week? What's the process like transitioning from regular season to a conference opponent that you didn't know you were going to play until recently?
No, I mean, it's one of the things that how we approach, our season, how we approach each game. We try not to put too much emphasis on the opponent. Yes, there's game plans. Yes, there's tendencies. There's personnel that you have to go against, but it's really about us. And if we can go and every week work to get better, work to control the things that we can directly impact. And if you see that improvement, you'll be prepared for the opportunity that presents itself. And as you look through this year, I mean, I kind of like how the schedule wrapped up. We finished up ACC play a few weeks ago with one of our biggest rivals. Obviously the game last night was a huge game. So we've had to work and get better, and we faced plenty of adversity. When Jordan went down, I mean, obviously that was something that we had to work through as a team, and very emotional. And so we've seen the highs, we've seen the lows, and that's what you get the postseason, you get the championship games. I mean, that's what's going to show up. I mean, the best of the best. You got to go out there and you got to play to all the potential that you have, and just stay true to who we are. But I think that prepares you as much as anything to go and be able to perform in a moment.
Terry, you're next.
Coach, congratulations on the win last night. Yesterday was a pretty slow start, but I did see, and I know a lot of people who was watching this game saw a lot of grit and heart from Florida State. What's your message going to the ACC Championship to the team? Because you do have some veterans, you do have quite a few veterans. But what is your message to the team as you all go to the ACC Championship?
Well, it's to go get better. And I mean, really, it's pretty simple as that. You look at the last couple of games, we've had a little bit slower starts than what we've wanted. I've had some mistakes, and it's been all emotional games. And when you sit there and you look at it, obviously the rivalry games, being on the road, senior day a couple weeks back. So it's making sure that we can control the emotions and you'll still be able to go out and execute to the level that we're capable of. The response, the grit, that's there. I mean, this is a team that's shown that. They put that on display. And we always tell them that, I mean, to trust the training, because they are trained for times like this. And when you find the adversity, when it finds you, you've got to go out there and respond, and they know how to do that.
All right. Good luck this weekend as well. I'll be there as well.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Chris, you're next.
Hey, Mike, you talked a bit about the Cardinals offense. What stands out on the other side of the ball with their defense?
I mean, they're so very aggressive. They're explosive. They got great playmakers. Their defensive front, I mean, is so active. I mean, they're going to show you, a variety of different fronts, pressure packages, movement. They play really hard. It's one of the most challenging teams in the country to be able to run the ball against. They're always going to try to be plussed in the numbers. They're in the run game. I mean, I think they're very well coached. It's one of the top defenses in the league, and one of the best defenses in the country, and that's why they're playing in this game. And it's going to be a heck of a challenge for us, and just what all they do, and how they attack.
Michael Ferrari, you're next.
Hi, Mike. Michael Ferrari here with Berg Sports Network. Can you kind of talk about you say the word adversity a lot. Can you talk about the development and adversity of your quarterback Tate and what you've kind of learned about him so far this year?
Well, I mean, as you come into a season when you're somebody that has experience and years under your belt like Tate does, I mean, he's been through it, and I think as much as anything, the choice to be willing to fight, to be willing to compete, to be ready when his number's been called is something that it's hard, because especially in today's age of college athletics, I mean, it's pretty easy to be able to go somewhere else, and he's made the choice to be in this situation, to prepare, to get better, and I'm just so proud of him for what he's done and the times that he's been able to get out there on the field. We talked extensively this past week of his first start on the road. I mean, it was a loud, challenging atmosphere, but one of the things I was most proud of him with is that he owned the football. He didn't have any turnovers. We did have some tough plays, and he was put in some tough situations when it comes to field position, and even some of the down and distance things that showed up. But he was great with the ball. I thought he made some big throws in the game that really provided a spark for us. A couple big third down conversions, and just proud of him for how he's been able to maintain. But it goes to a lot more than just what's happening out there on the field.
Matt Baker.
Hey, Mike, I want to follow up on something you were saying a second ago about how Tate obviously could have gone somewhere else and didn't. A lot of the guys who were really big for you last night could have gone pro, had other opportunities that way. What's been so key with you all in being able to not just get talent, but retain it?
Well, I mean, guys love being here. They love who they get to do it with. They believe in the way they're going to be developed, and obviously the opportunities that can present themselves on the field, they've got to go earn it. And whether it's a player coming in from the high school ranks, from the transfer portal, from guys that are here that have been here since before I got here, I mean, everybody has the same opportunity, and you got to go capitalize on it. But when you believe in who you get to do it with, when you believe in the way that you're going to be developed as a player, and continue to grow as the man that ultimately you're striving to become, you have maybe a deeper sense of buy-in. And some guys have made some really tough choices to stay and to fight, to work, and to improve. And Tate's one of those guys. But we also have a lot of guys that had the choice whether they wanted to go to the NFL or obviously any other opportunities, but they chose to be here, and they chose to be able to do this together, and it's what makes this team really special.
Alexis.
Hi, Mike. In your opening statement, you talked about not having divisions this season. Obviously, with you guys in Louisville having been in the Atlantic last season, but now being able to play one another. Just curious your thoughts on how the model this season kind of played out.
No, I thought it was great, and it's I'm glad that it didn't come down to a tiebreaker or any of those things. I think when you see two teams that have earned the opportunity to play in this championship, it's big. And Louisville has played at an elite level throughout this year. They got a great offense, a great defense. Impactful in special teams. We believe we've got some of those same characteristics, and that's why we're both getting a chance to compete in this game. And so, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great matchup, but it was earned on the field.
Back to Ira. Ira, do you have another question?
Sorry about that. In this game and also in the Miami game, you guys had a couple of situations where guys could have gotten into extracurricular activities. And in both cases, they seem to do a much better job than maybe in years past. How far have they come in that, and how big of a talking point was it going into those games?
That's a good question, and you did apologize twice already in this press conference, Ira. I just want to make sure that's noted, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
No, it's one of the things we just talked about as our team. We knew going into the game, that's going to be an emotional game. I mean, that rivalry, we knew that those things were all potential events that could show up. And, we talked a lot about the emotional maturity that it takes to be willing to, with all the excitement, all the challenges, sometimes the human nature to want to retaliate to something, to be able to, hold true and disciplined to focusing on the next play, and to be able to control the things that you can control. And I thought our guys did a great job of controlling themselves. And there were plenty of opportunities that we could have retaliated in the situation, but we were able to benefit from whether it's a penalty or just ultimately being in control of ourselves. And I celebrated that with our team in our team meeting here this afternoon, and it's something that we're going to continue to work on, and because from this point out, it's all emotion, and we got to make sure that we're being disciplined and being focused on what we ultimately are coming to do.
Next question, David Hale.
I'm sorry. Also, Mike, I'm not sure for what, but I'm sure I owe you an apology for something.
Yes.
You talked, I think, last week about a conversation that you had with Tate a few weeks back, and I'm just wondering if you could go into some explanation about what sort of led you to that, and what was sort of discussed between you that you think maybe has played out over the last couple of weeks in the role that he's had to step into?
I mean, going through the year when you're not the starter, especially at the quarterback position, because you don't always, whether if you play receiver, there's going to be a chance you're going to get in the game. It might be, 5, 10, 15 plays, whatever that is, whatever you earn throughout the course of the game. But, quarterback, there's times, especially when you're behind, one of the best quarterbacks in all of football, that you might not get a whole lot of opportunities on the field. And, the urgency in practice, the growth and development, the importance of every drop that you take, the way that you communicate, you never know when you might get thrust into action. But just like as each player on the field has to push to get better, whether you're a starter, a backup, whether you're redshirting this year, it's always about that sense of urgency. And it wasn't, Tate did not do anything but it was kind of midpoint through the season. I think we had just finished our 6th game, and I wanted to kind of make sure that he understood the importance and the value that we put on every rep that he takes, and also the appreciation for how he goes about as a business. And it wasn't anything big, but I said at any point this can be your team where you have to go and lead it. And I think he's shown in the last 2 games that he's worked and he's prepared for it. Now that doesn't mean there haven't been mistakes, or there's things that we have to get better at, absolutely. But he's done a really nice job of running and controlling the offense.
Corey, you're next.
Hi, Mike. I was curious, from when you were at Memphis that first year, you were coaching in the bowl game against Western Kentucky, which Jeff Brom ended up not coaching because he had just been hired by Purdue, but it was essentially, his team that he got there. How far back do you go when you're scouting a game like this? Is that something that you would even go back to that year to look at maybe some tendencies or things of that nature?
Well, I mean, as a coach, you always want to try to get a sense of all elements of a guy's background and what they do. And I think one of the greatest things about Coach Brom is that he ties it so well to his personnel, and he's so versatile in his attack, in his system. I mean, if he has a player that can bring value to his program, he's going to find a way to utilize it. And I think that's probably one of the greatest compliments I can give to somebody, because it shows versatility. When you watch him play, everything's setting up, the next thing, and so there's very few throwaway plays that you ever see them run, or with what they do defensively, it's always about a progression. And so yes, we're going to utilize all the information that we have, or experiences that we've seen, but it's still specific to this team and to what they're doing, and trying to be able to kind of work to control and contain the playmakers that they have. But we know that we can see it all.
Michael, back to you.
Hi, Mike. Just one more question from me, kind of a 2-part question. College football is so special, and 2 things that make it special is the players and the fans. Can you kind of talk about what this senior class has meant to this team, and also what the fans have meant to you and the university so far this year?
No, I mean, our senior players, I mean, they're remarkable, and everybody's got a different journey. Their backgrounds, how they came to Florida State. The guys that have been here since even before I got here. I mean, the work they've invested, the relationships they've built, the accountability that they've embraced to push themselves to the level that some of them didn't even probably know they could get to. But it's a wonderful group, and they've been great leaders for underclassmen. They've really helped accelerate the process for us, because it's no longer my values or just my standard, it's theirs. And when you have players that take that ownership, I mean, it's a joy to watch, and definitely grateful for them, and our fans. I mean, we got the best fans in the country, and even last night, they're as a visiting team, the marching chiefs. I mean, our band was remarkable. I mean, you felt them. I mean, you rocking the stadium throughout the night. And, all of our fans that have traveled throughout this season to our road games, I mean, we've taken over stadiums, and it's impressive to be able to see that. Obviously, the atmosphere, 5 straight sellouts at Doak here to end the regular season was really special. And I know we're going to have a great showing there in Charlotte, and we need that to be to be as much of an advantage as it can possibly be.
Aslan, do you have a question?
I do. Thanks, man. Coach, 2 weeks ago, Miami, obviously a very physical rivalry game. Last week, everything that happened with Jordan kind of followed you through this past week preparing for Florida, another emotional, physical rivalry game. Is there a maturity to your team that will be able to kind of keep pushing this week? Or as a coaching staff, do you have to kind of take a look at the totality of the season and how you want to manage this last week before a big break?
I mean, we're going to work. I mean, that's what this team's built upon. And, we're always going to be smart with our players. I mean, the physicality part of it, making sure that, we've had a plan since the summer of what we wanted to look like. And I think that, we've been able to implement that plan at a high level. I think our players have embraced, the way that we go about, the work in our preparation. But, we're definitely going to continue to push, and that's something that our guys have a lot of confidence in. And as in today's age with all GPS and tracking and seeing all the things that of how guys are able to perform, I mean, it works, and they're playing at a very high level, and I'm expecting that to be another great push in our preparation here this week, and you go out there and hopefully play our best game come Saturday night.
Let's go ahead with Bozeman Media.
Hey, Coach Mike, how you doing? Corey here. This is a 2-part question. Have you ever coached with or against Jeff? And what challenges for you guys defensively do Jordan Noir and Isaac Arendo bring you guys?
Well, Coach Braum and I have not coached with each other, or other than the time that was just referenced in the bowl game against each other. He'd taken the Purdue job before we played him in the bowl game. But I've also got to know him just over the years. Been different places, different events, and so much respect for him and what he does within his program. Obviously he's one of the smartest offensive minds, I think, in the country, in how we utilizes personnel and obviously the schemes of what they present. And I mean, I think you see the success that they've had. You hear in year one. I mean, it's remarkable. And so we know we got our hands full this week, but and then, this rushing attack of how they utilize their backs, the way that they create space and get them into great one-on-one matchups, whether it's, forcing you to have to commit an extra hat to the run game. I mean, it's tough. And, they got a great play action game. They're going to take their vertical shots. They're going to do a great job with formations. So it's definitely presents, all challenges. And I know our guys are excited for the opportunity to prepare for it, and then have to go out there and compete against it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
Coach, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize ahead of time for him. Ira, go ahead.
I mostly just wanted to prove to myself I could unmute my microphone. So
it's only year 3 of Zoom life.
I'm still responding to adversity.
I love it.
So I did want to ask you, have you gotten a sense from any of the players? I know there's still work to be done, obviously, but are you getting the sense that these guys, I mean, can appreciate the fact that they just went 12-0 in the regular season, and the fact that they're, competing for an ACC championship, especially the guys that, well, all of them, I was going to say the guys that are new to the program, but also, all of them. I mean, do you get the sense that they're appreciating that along the journey?
Yeah, I mean, I try to make sure they do. I mean, it's, we have a job to do, and that's to go get better this week. And we're going to work our butts off to make sure that we achieve that goal and that objective. But, if you don't celebrate the steps along the way, I mean, that's what you build confidence through those experiences. And, even through 12 games and, being able to win all of them, there were some moments where I wasn't real happy with the outcome. And, that's where you push and you develop a standard of what you want it to be. And for us, it's, I'm grateful for every one of the wins, and but we know the work that's necessary as we move forward. But you're absolutely right. I mean, I told him in our team meeting just a little while ago. I mean, to be the fourth team in the history of Florida State who has one of the greatest football traditions of any school in the country. To be only the fourth that has accomplished that, I mean, that's pretty special. To be, I think it's a sixth, team to ever go undefeated in a regular season. I mean, that's big. This team will be remembered. But what do you want? What do you want the finality of this team to be? What do you want that legacy to state? And for us, we got to get better. And we have an opportunity Saturday to play this game again, and you get an opportunity to compete for a championship. And I don't talk a whole lot about championships at the beginning of the year, because I believe that if you will work and grow and be your best, that you'll put yourself in position to achieve what you can. And I believe in this team. I believed in them. For as long as we've been together, right? I believed in what they could do, and now we are at a championship week. So if we can go get better and you do the things necessary to win this game, then we get to add something very special to this program. And for that, we do need to appreciate it, but it's always about the work.
Coach, the last question we have for you today comes from David Hale.
You're going out on a high note, so this is exciting. I'm curious if you could explain any conversation or assistance that Jordan was able to give Tate in the run up to last week, and do you expect him to be involved in just sort of working with Tate and the offense in a sort of a coaching capacity this week?
Well, I mean, Jordan, he's there and he's so supportive of our players because he loves them so much. And, for him being there last night, for him coming out to practice, this past week, I mean, he's there to encourage, support, be there for his brothers, just like his brothers have been there for him. And, it is he's a special man. And, I'm just grateful for all that he's done. I'm grateful for his continued investment. Plan on him being there, this Saturday, and continuing to have that positive presence for his teammates, and just forever grateful for what he's done for this program. But he's continuing to make his impact.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, thank you guys. Y'all have a great day.
Coach, thank you for your time, and we'll see you this weekend in Charlotte.
All right, see you.